Ever since the launch of Red Dead Online, players have felt underwhelmed with the content. It seems that no matter what update comes, players are still left half full and wanting more. I've been playing since the beginning, and I remember when the best way to make money was to fish for salmon. Red Dead Online has come a long way since then, however it always feels like every update is too little, too late. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 things that would improve Red Dead Online. And first up on the list, of course, is the player-owned houses, the one that everyone has been asking for, including me, since the very beginning of Red Dead Online. Players should be able to own a house in this game. Much like GTA 5, they could have different prices for the quality, of course. I don't know how they would go about that, but I'm thinking $10,000 for a small house, $25,000 for a decent one, and then $50,000 for a super large one. $50,000 doesn't seem like a lot. But in this game, getting $50,000 is a trip. It's pretty difficult. So I think 50 grand would definitely be worth that mansion down in Rhodes. That's what I'm thinking. Like the largest house will be something like that. The camp would still be useful because you can move it around the map. You even have the wilderness camp. So like the house, of course, is going to stay in one spot. But I move around the map constantly. I'm down at Tumbleweed. I'm down to wherever I need to go to find a collectible. Sometimes I go up in Big Valley just to explore. So it's nice to have the camp. It wouldn't make the camp obsolete. I know I mentioned this before in one update video that they don't want houses because you're supposed to be sort of like an outlaw on the land. But then again, you're also a bounty hunter. So it makes absolutely no sense at all that's the reason why they wouldn't have houses in this game. And the game is just perfect for relaxing and enjoying the scenery of the map with all the different biomes. You could have a multiple homes, you could have a lake house, a log cabin in the mountains, a small apartment in St. Denis or in Rhodes or something like that. I mean, there's all types of different possibilities. Additions could be added to the house. You could remodel the inside, add stables for your horse, just like adding garages or adding a garage to your house in GTA for your cars. It's all the same idea. All they need to do is basically just copy and paste what they did for GTA and people would love it. Okay, number 2 on my list of great ideas is a new role, and that new role would be the bandit or the criminal or the burglar or whatever. But I think since the bounty hunter role exists, players should have the option to go the other route and be a bandit. Rob banks, steal from wagons, trains, and the player bounties could be worth more money. And if someone steals or robs a bank and you're in town and you see them, you could go and take them down. We do have the blood money missions that I just thought of that right now, but it's not really what we wanted. I mean, you do get to take those jewels, but they're set up missions. I'm talking about you can just go up to the bank and be like, all right, blow the door, just something in free roam. I feel like Red Dead needs to be a more free roam-esque game instead of a mission-based game. But then again, I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not a coder, so I don't know how hard that is to do. But I think that a bandit role, we definitely need to have a role where you're robbing banks and there has to be a train robbery or something. And I think it would give a whole nother meaning to the bounty hunter role. And it would be a way for players to interact. You could have bandits and bounty hunters, and it would be like role-playing, but actually built into the game. Because people do this role-play stuff anyway on GTA, everything else, and be cops and criminals and whatever else they want to role play. So I think that a new role is a great idea. And third on the list is going to seem like I'm milking just to try to get 5 on here, but I think it needs to be said, and this one's obvious, is that we need more things to do with the existing roles. Add an extra wagon to the trader, another worker to help Maurice in the Moonshine Shack, something. The naturalist especially needs something more. The only reason for doing it is to kill the legendary animal for your trader or to take it to Gus. Even that's bullshit because you get like $30 and then you have to spend $800 on whatever pelt you just unlocked. So that's even worthless to do. So basically the naturalist only exists for the trader pretty much, and it doesn't give you enough XP in my opinion for that. They need to make the samples worth more. That would fix it. And the collector is supposed to be the best role as far as money. If you find everything, I think it's like over $5 grand for if you do one full set of each category, it'd be like $5,000, which is a lot. But it's just a big Easter egg hunt, and you get duplicates all the time with the maps from Madame Nazar. And the last thing is, this is why I said the bandit role, is that the bounty hunter role is the only role that's really fun to do with a posse. I mean, it's the only role you really need a posse for, except for running your trader to just protect it. But I mean, you can protect it by yourself. But that's why there needs to be a bandit role. There needs to be a way, or there needs to be more things to do with your posse, i.e. gunfights. The bounty hunter is the only way to get into like a big gunfight or to do like a mission like that. Once the story missions run out, they could even add more of those, or a way to replay them or something like that. Another thing with the trader is not another wagon. They could have an upgrade where you run a train or a smaller train or something, and then people in free roam would be able to rob your train. So that even adds another element to the free roam too. So I don't know if it's milking or reaching with that one, but they definitely need to add to the roles, because they've been the same for about a year now. So at least the one thing they could pick off this list is add to the roles. Alright, and for number 4, I'm going into a little bit of a different territory, but I think this would be a good idea, is a new way to travel. And by that, I mean a plane or a glider or a flying machine, because they have a flying machine and a glider in this game already. But running around on your horse is relaxing sometimes, but if you're just trying to get places in a hurry, it's time consuming. And most players opt for the fast travel system like me, which works well, but it costs money each time. So if you're new, especially brand new, I understand it, paying $10 to jump across the map if you're uncertain, the further you have to go, the more money it is. I think 10's the highest, which $10 in that game is not a lot, but it's not a little too. If you keep doing it, it would seem like I'm kind of like wasting my money here. But players need a new way to travel. The train's kind of useless, it's too slow. It goes on its own little route around the map, and it's sort of just like a novelty, like, oh, hey, look, there's the train. And there's already that crash plane and glider. If you haven't seen the Easter egg video series, I would check that out. I show both of them. And this apparently would cause issues, because history buffs for Red Dead would say, like, oh, it's set in 1899, and the Wright brothers didn't invent the airplane until 1903. But if they can have the Oppressor in GTA 5 and fly that around and whatever, like, I don't see, like, I'm looking out my window right now and I don't see an Oppressor flying around. I mean, the government might have something like that in Area 51, but my neighbor, he doesn't have an Oppressor. So if they can have that, it's also a video game too, a video game. So don't be lazy, and say that the history, whatever, why didn't you make it set later then? It's bullshit. Put a plane in there, I'm telling you. Okay, and number 5, last but not least, is a new area of the map. I think that'd be a great idea. Or spruce up some of the areas on the map already, mainly Tumbleweed and Armadillo. I think there should be a nicer town that's worth going down into the desert area, because after all, in the Wild West, or wherever we're at, the desert's where you want to be. That's the Wild West down there. So the map hasn't been any different, except for a few minor changes here and there with like adding the roles, and I think they switched around some of the Easter eggs too. But some places on the map are even off limits, like the prison. Why don't they open that up and have that be a mission, prison break, or be a prison guard or something like that? I don't know. What better way to get everyone back on Red Dead Online than to create a new area of the map, or even just a new city or town? Plenty of games add new areas, and this could be the one thing Red Dead beats Grand Theft Auto 5 to. Grand Theft Auto never did that, added some new area. As far as I know. Oh no, they added that stupid island, but you can only get, they could do it way better. They could do it way, even opening up that prison, they could have like some kind of, like maybe like floating lake. I don't know. They could beat GTA 5 at this though. New area of the map. I think that'd be a smart idea, especially down in the desert, like I said before. Okay, so that was 5 things that I think would improve Red Dead Online, or 5 things that I think Red Dead Online needs in the next update or in the near future. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out my Easter egg series, and be sure to stay tuned for some live streams here on the channel of Red Dead Online and some other games. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next time.